is your name, please?
My name is Elsa Lanchester.
Today, Elsa Lanchester, together with two imposters, will try to fool this panel. Kitty Carlisle, Orson Dean, Peggy Cass, and Tom Poston. It's all going to happen right here on To Tell the Truth. This portion of To Tell the Truth is brought to you by VO5 Hair Color.
It was scary.
And now here's our host on To Tell the Truth, Bud Collyer.
Thank you very much. Welcome once again to Tell the Truth. Good afternoon.
Hey, Bud.
Oh, yes, I agree. In front of you, before in front of you, of course, Elsa will be back later on in our program with two imposters to try to stump you brilliant people. But now, let's meet our first team of challengers.
One of these men traveled the entire length of South America on a bicycle. What is your name, please?
My name is Daniel Lackley.
My name is Daniel Lackley.
My name is Daniel Lackley.
My friends, in front of you will find these envelopes that I mentioned before, and the contents you have not as yet seen, but follow along with the one marked number 1. I, Daniel Lackley, pedaled a bicycle for 3 months, 4,000 miles across scorching deserts and over mountains from Argentina to Colombia, nearly the full length of South America. I washed my clothes in the rivers and slept by the side of the road, or several times in jailhouses as guest of the local police. I cooked my own meals from whatever was available. At one point, I pedaled 900 miles across a desert with only dry soup to eat. In Ecuador, I encountered scores of revolutionaries. All in all, however, the trip was marvelous, but it sure wrecked my bicycle. Signed, Daniel Lackley. Now we start the questioning with Orson Bean. Orson?
Thank you. Number 3, any place in South America you can find scores of revolutionaries, can't you?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Did you run into any bandits and things in the mountains of Ecuador or anywhere?
Well, in Ecuador specifically.
Yeah, well, where is that? Colombia, there's a lot of bandits, too, aren't there, up in the hills?
In Colombia, Bolivia.
Yeah, number 1, did you ever meet Juan Valdez?
No.
No, that's all right. Number 2, did you drink the water wherever you went?
Yes, just about.
Yeah, well, how long did it take you to get your stomach in the kind of cast iron condition that you could drink water in any part of a continent?
Still haven't yet.
You haven't yet?
No.
That could make you pedal fast right there. Number 3, when you went across the scorching desert, did that make you pedal fast, or did you have to go fast to keep the tires from burning up? Was it really that scorching?
No, I had to go pretty slow.
You did? Why? Because of exhaustion?
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 1, why did you do this?
More or less to consume some time.
Is that all? Number 2, what kind of a bicycle did you use?
American Schwinn, actually.
Number 3, do you think the English bicycles are better than ours?
I've never ridden an English bicycle.
Thank you. Number 2, what did you eat when you went across the desert?
Well, there it was mostly rice, potatoes you bring.
Number 3, where did you sleep in the desert?
By the side of the road.
And was it cold at night?
Well, I mainly spent the nights bicycle riding.
Number 1, how high is La Paz?
Tom Poston.
You may answer number 1, please.
I believe that's more than 1 mile high.
Well, number 2, why did you do this? Number 1 said it's just to kill time.
Well, I had just finished up with the Peace Corps, and just coming back to the country, thought it'd be better to do it this way than fly.
I love the Peace Corps. I think it's the greatest thing we've done for centuries. Number 3, how did you manage repairs to your bicycle? I presume that you had some need for repairs.
Well, I had a patch kit, and I brought along a couple of extra inner tubes and a pump.
That's all? You had no, number 1, you had no mechanical repairs of any kind?
Well, there were some as necessary minor adjustments.
Tell me, number 1, did you have gears on your bicycle? Or
No, I did not.
didn't that make it kind of tough going up and down those hills?
Peggy Cass.
Number 2, did you go the whole 4,000 miles on just an extra set of inner tubes?
Oh, no, you wear out the bicycle tires as you go along.
Yeah, how many pairs of tires did you wear out?
Gee. I'd say about 6 tires plus the 2.
Thank you. Number 1, how much is a set, an average price for a set of 28 tires, front and back? 28-inch bicycle tires.
Front and back.
Yeah, 2 tires.
In American money, about $1.50.
Oh, boy. Now, number 2, what is it that the natives of the Andes way up high chew to make them feel good?
I wasn't up there, but I believe it's peyote. I'm not
Thank
sure.
you. Is it...
That's it. Time to mark your ballot. So, chew over the answers that you got and mark them, if you will. Mark them now without change, without any consultation whatsoever. Just vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will, of course, receive $100 for each incorrect vote. Ballots all marked, panel? Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 1. They're such clean-cut young men, I don't think any of them know how to tell a lie. For that reason, I believed number 1 and didn't believe 2 and 3.
Peggy Cass.
I voted for number 1 as well. I don't think they chew peyote there. I think that's a Mexican drink, chew.
Orson
I
Bean.
didn't vote for one because he said his bicycle had no gears, and I think that's ridiculous. You couldn't make that trip on one of those big, fat, flexible flyers with the tiger tail hanging off the back. You got to have a little... I voted for number 2 because he looks kind of, he looks wan.
You need a little,
pale and
need a little
wan.
zest when you go
It's
there.
the water, I think. It's still...
Kitty.
I voted for number 1. I think number 2 certainly looks the part, and he has that visionary blue eye that would have led him to the Peace Corps, but I still think it's number 1.
Very well, there we have it. We'll find out which one in truth is Daniel Lackley in a minute.
A lesson for parents about the power.
Very well, my friends, the votes are all in, and as you well know, of course, Tom, Peggy, and Kitty all voted for number 1. Orson voted for number 2.
And wood again.
So let's see now, which of these 3 gentlemen in truth took a 4,000-mile trip on a bike? Will the real Daniel Lackley please stand up? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. What is your present occupation, Mr. Lackley?
I'm a branch representative for Household Finance Corporation.
And are you anticipating another long trip?
Not at the present time.
Number 2, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Francis Brady, and I'm a computer consultant with Brandon Applied Systems.
Thank you, sir. And number 3, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Joel Gerber. I'm a biology teacher at Russell Sage Junior High
School. Number 3 has a side job that I think is fascinating, too. Would you tell us about that?
Well, I work part-time during my summers as a freelance shepherd.
Freelance shepherd?
Yes.
Really, shepherd?
Pardon?
Where do you do your shepherding?
Well, I originally learned in Greece, and now I'm developing a small trade around New York City.
Oh, are there many sheep around New York City to shepherd?
They're all a bunch of sheep. What do you mean? Checking the score, gentlemen, we find that there was only 1 incorrect vote, but that's still worth $100 to you, and we thank you very much for the pleasure of your company. Hope you enjoyed ours. Goodbye, and God bless you. Very well, panel, now we're going to play our celebrity version of To Tell the Truth. Seated to my left, as you can plainly see, is our next team of challengers, consisting of Elsa Lanchester and 2 imposters. We've hidden their faces for obvious reasons and will distort their voices for the same reasons. Electronically, you will hear them distorted through your headphones. Elsa is also wearing different clothing than she wore at the beginning of the program. Our guest today really needs no introduction. She's recognized instantly by anyone who has ever gone to the movies. She plays comedy, tragedy, farce. In fact, she plays anything, and with consummate skill. She also sings, which she did for 10 consecutive years at one theater in Los Angeles. And with her husband, Charles Lawton, she formed one of the great acting families of all time. Our guest today, Elsa Lanchester. We'll continue this game with Elsa Lanchester half a minute after this message.
This portion of To Tell the Truth was brought to you by Clean Guard. The next portion of To Tell the Truth is brought to you by new Final Touch, fabric softener that whites up, brights up even difficult fabrics. And now once again, here's your host, Bud Collyer.
Thank you, Johnny. Panel, these three ladies all claim to be Elsa Lanchester. We start the questioning, if we may, with Kitty Carlisle.
Thank you, Bud. Number 3, what was the name of the play that you were in for 10 years in Los Angeles?
The Turnabout Theater.
Number 3, the Turnabout Theater. Number 1, what is your favorite animal?
A cat.
Number 2, where were you born?
London.
And number 3, what was the most important movie that you appeared in your opinion?
Henry VIII.
Thank you. That was a wonderful one. Number 1, why are you here in New York? Is there a special reason?
Charles had a collection of art, and it's going to Park Burnett.
Tom Poston.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Thank you, Bud. Number 2, what are buskers?
Buskers?
Buskers.
Well, it's a form of makeup that one wears under one's costume.
Well, you know why I asked? Because I think the first time I ever heard of it, you played one. Did you ever play a busker, number 1?
Yes.
Just a guess, I think. Number 1, do you know what the Tales of Manhattan are?
They are stories of Manhattan.
Thank you.
Peggy Cass.
Number 3, which wife did you play in the life of Henry VIII?
The fifth wife,
What was your name?
Anne of Cleves.
Thank you. Number 1, who was your leading man in The Beachcomber?
Charles Lawton.
And number 2, were you in a movie where you had to go out and tidy up the marshes?
Yes.
Number 3, what was the name of that movie where you tidied up the marshes? I've never forgotten.
Ladies in Retirement.
Thank you. Oh.
Orson Bean.
Now, number 3, let's get down to brass tacks here. I remember you as the Bride of Frankenstein, do I not?
Yes.
What was your hairdo, number 3, in that?
It was pulled upwards.
Pulled upwards and out in all directions, right, 3?
Yes.
Like an electric shock. Number 1, who made you in that picture?
Who made me?
Who made you? Who put you together?
Frankenstein.
Dr. Frankenstein made you, yes. From what, number 1?
From what?
Yes, from what did he make you?
From a simple girl.
From a simple girl? I thought he put you together from bits and pieces.
Well, take your headphones off and get to the business of marking your ballots, if you will, please. There's no further time to question. So without consultation, as usual, just vote now and select, if you will, Elsa Lanchester number 1, Elsa Lanchester number 2, or Elsa Lanchester number 3. All ballots are marked. So, Tom, for whom did you vote?
Well, I voted for number 3, partly because I didn't ask her any questions, but she didn't answer wrong on buskers and Tales of Manhattan, and I think she once played a busker, and I think the Tales of Manhattan...
What is a busker?
You know, it's those English street entertainers with the ornaments and buttons sewn on their clothing.
Peggy.
You know, it's the funniest thing. I thought she played Catherine Parr, but I voted for 3 anyway because of Ladies in Retirement.
Yeah.
Orson Bean.
Well, I didn't vote for 2 because buskers are not underwear worn under the costume. I didn't vote for 1 because the Bride of Frankenstein was sewn together from bits and pieces found here and there in terrible places, number 1. I voted for number 3.
And Kitty.
I voted for number 3 because I do believe that she played Anne of Cleves in that marvelous picture and was wonderful indeed in it. And I think number 3 is the real Elsa Lanchester.
Very well, we'll find out whether or not this is true as to who is the real Elsa Lanchester in a minute.
Does it seem like everyone has their hand out? Now.
Now, panel, it's time to find out which of these three ladies in truth is the real Elsa Lanchester, and you voted unanimously for number 3. So, number 3, you not only got the most votes, you got them all. Are you Elsa Lanchester? Ladies, you may take off your hats if you wish, because I know it's not cool under there. It gets pretty warm. Now let's find out who you are. Number 1, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Frances Leslie, and I live in New York City and teach music.
Thank you. And number 2, what is your real name and what do you do?
I'm Eileen Burns, and I've just completed a story about the New England coast for Macmillan.
Thank you. Well, Elsa, it's indeed an honor and a great pleasure to have you on our show. And I gather that the distorted answer that came through for your reason of being in New York is true. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I've said that already about the art collection.
It's quite an extensive one, did he have?
Yes, it's quite a large one, quite a well-known one. And we used to have a house full of museum people, which made life extra interesting, you know.
Yeah.
Did you ever have Vincent Price over?
No, he didn't come. A rival, I guess.
He loves art, though. He's a big art man, too, isn't he?
Yes, yes.
Tell me, are you still touring at all in your one-lady show?
I did that in Hollywood in May and June. It was my 4th farewell. In Hollywood, that is. Having been all around the country, you know.
Of all this is probably a silly question, but it probably is one that you're always asked. You played so many fine roles. Do you have any favorite, or did you enjoy each one as you were doing it?
Yes, I think everybody has to enjoy what they're doing. Otherwise, you couldn't look forward to ever working or doing anything. You must believe in what you're doing and perhaps kind of feel rather warm when it's finished about it, and on to the next.
You left many a warm spot, believe me. Well, it was a great joy having you with us, and you ladies, too. And in checking the score, there were no incorrect votes, but in that case, there still is $75 coming your way, and our deep and sincere thanks. Goodbye, and God bless you. We'll be back in just a minute. That's all we have time for. Goodbye, Pat. We'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
See you tomorrow, too. And in the meantime, don't you forget to tell the truth. Bye.
This portion of To Tell the Truth was brought to you by New Dove Progressive. Made to be safe even for dry problem hands. To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. Johnny Olson speaking. Today's program is pre-recorded.
Does it seem like everyone has their hand out? Now.
Now, panel, it's time to find out which of these three ladies in truth is the real Elsa Lanchester, and you voted unanimously for number 3. So, number 3, you not only got the most votes, you got them all. Are you Elsa Lanchester? Ladies, you may take off your hats if you wish, because I know it's not cool under there.
He was the kind of guy you didn't mess around with.
Impossible.
He had street smarts, all right.
Did you kiss the wife of somebody involved on this particular program by any chance?
And a keen sense of smell. He could track down secrets like nobody's business.
I forgot what I asked there for a minute.
You can watch him in action. Bill Cullen.
Who can play at this game, you know?
I've Got a Secret. Weeknights, 9-ish Eastern, 6-ish Pacific.
In 1950, the phrase rock and roll had yet to be coined. Harry Truman was in the White House. The average annual income was $3,200 a year. In 1950, a brand new car ran you $1,500, while gasoline was 25 cents a gallon. Also in 1950, America started watching What's My Line? Times certainly have changed, but you can still watch What's My Line every weeknight on Game Show Network.
Get ready to play. Johnny Carson, Raquel Welch, Muhammad Ali, Barbara Streisand, Warren Beatty. You just never know who's going to drop by on What's My Line. And then...
My name is Paul Newman, and I've got a secret.
Join host Gary Moore, fabulous celebrities, and one of the funniest panels ever assembled for the most revealing game show in history, I've Got a Secret. Catch What's My Line, followed by I've Got a Secret every Sunday on Game Show Network.
Tomorrow on 31 Days of Halloweenings on my YouTube channels.
Look at this studio filled with glamorous merchandise, fabulous and exciting bonus prizes, including build the getaway home of your dreams with this $59,000 Greatwood Log Cabin Kit. And as an extra wheel prize, a sparkling gold and diamond bow bracelet. And a great pair of new cars, the Chrysler Conquest TSI and the Dodge Power Ram truck. Plus thousands of dollars in cash. Over $218,000 just waiting to be won on Wheel of Fortune. And now, here's your host, Pat Sajak.
Hi, thank you, Charlie O'Donnell, for Jack Clark. Nice to have you all with us. And now a big welcome, please, for our hostess. She's here. She's in person, ladies and gentlemen. Vanna White. Oh, Vanna. You know, he's anxious to get to the log cabin, I know, and actually it's a beauty, and over $59,000 the worth on that. And we have not one but two cars, his and hers over here, over $37,000 for these two automobiles. And Charlie, I like the idea of some land in Maine. What's that all about?
Well, we'll even teach you how to say Aya. This 6.9 acres of land overlooking Branch Lake in Ellsworth, Maine, over $35,000, Pat.
All right, and look at that beautiful motorhome over there, $47,000 the price on that. And we'll stop right here because miraculously behind us, we're going to have $25,000 drop in. You can also play for that. So we'll take a break, come back, and find out what old Jack's going to go for in just a minute. Old Jack.
That classic game tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.